Over the last few episodes, I've been talking a lot about how experts can get great market reach by being on podcast shows. But you want to make sure they're the right podcast shows that your potential customers and clients are either listening to or watching. Hi, this is Kathleen Gage with Power Up for Profits and Plant-Based Eating for Health, encouraging you to look at the opportunities that podcast interviews offer you. Now, the thing about getting on podcast shows is it does take research. It does take time to find the ideal shows. You don't want to just throw a whole bunch of mud on the wall and hope something sticks. The more niched you are, the more targeted you are, the greater chance will be that the host responds to your request to be on their show. When you first approach a host, the thing you want to look at is how many episodes have they aired? When was the last episode aired? Because if it hasn't aired for a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's not an active show. So you want to find shows that are relatively active and something as recent as a week ago that was up and running. You also want to look at the kind of guests that they have and if in fact they do have guests, because if they don't have guests, and you approach them and you say, hey, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I think you need to have me on your show, it's probably not going to work. So you want to make sure that the show has guests on it that you can be a featured expert on. And how do you find out? You simply do a search. It's real simple, and I'm going to show you how you do it. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go, let's say, to iTunes to find out what's available on iTunes. And okay, I'm on iTunes. Now let's say that the shows I'm looking for, I want to find shows that have to do with, let's think of something. How about women's exercise, older women? Let's try that. So all I do is I put in the search area what I'm looking for, and I just enter, and I take a look at shows. Okay, it doesn't have anything on that. How about women's exercise? Let's just try that and see what happens. Okay, and we're doing a search and quite a bit is going to come up. Okay, so what we have podcast shows that are under women's exercise. We might even try women's health. Okay, so let's try women. Okay, so we're going to women's health. And we see that there's quite a few podcast shows. There's right here we have a whole bunch, but let's take a look at all, and I'll be very transparent. I need glasses to see what I'm looking at. Okay, so I'll have another, The Beauty Coach, Uninterrupted, Women's Health, Women's Creative Leadership, Vagina Chronicles, Women's Hope, Women's Health. Okay. How about the Fearless Women podcast? Let's see what that is. Now, we click on that. And what I did is I just went to that podcast and I clicked on it. And it tells me what the show is about. The Fearless Women's podcast is a podcast for women who are stuck in their lives and are looking to reconnect with themselves. We all have experienced times that have knocked us down, but how can we educate and empower ourselves to get back up, to reclaim our power and pursue the life we truly want? Okay, so I found a really good show. So what I would do is I would start looking for information about the host. And one of the best ways to do it is go over to the left-hand side, click website. It's under links. You just click website, and it'll pull up the host's website. And that's interesting. It took me to her Facebook page. So what she's done is she's put her contact directly to her Facebook page. So I could send her a message and say, hey, I'm interested in your show. I saw you on iTunes, would be interested in being on your show, something like that. Okay. But the main thing I want to look at is when is the last time a show aired? And under release date, that's where you can find it. Okay, now this is a very active show. She had an episode on the 23rd of June, the 16th of June, the 9th of June, the 2nd of June. So it looks like every week she's putting an episode up. Now the beauty is if I like this particular show, I can click on related and it will bring up other shows that are similar in genre as the Fearless Women's Show. So that allows me to go look for other shows. So let's say Inspiring Women Weekly. Let's click on that, see what comes up. Again, very active show, June 24th, June 17th, June 10th, June 3rd. Looks like it's a weekly show. Right here, there's a link to the website. Again, that's on the left-hand side. And this takes me right to the host's website. And so I've got contact information here about the host. So let's go ahead and click on contact. It may be a form. Yes, it's a form. And it doesn't look like there's anywhere that I can find an email address. So I would fill out the form right here. So basically that's what you do. It's really simple to find these opportunities. Where you put a lot of time into it is you do want to listen to the episode, a few minutes of the episode. You don't need to listen to the whole thing. You also want to make sure that it's active. You want to get the contact information. It's a good idea to get the social media channels. All of that really plays into how successful you'll be when you do your outreach to a host. I encourage you to watch my other podcast videos, the YouTube videos about podcast interview opportunities, because I've got a lot of great information and I'm trying to keep this in bite-sized pieces under 5 to 7 minutes so that you can get a nugget of information, you can apply it immediately, and really get some success with your outreach for podcast shows. If you truly want to save a lot of time, I encourage you to check out my page, powerupforprofits.com/directory, powerupforprofits.com/directory, where you will have access to 230 different types of podcast shows where we have all the contact information. These are current shows, they're active shows, and they're looking for guests like you. This is Kathleen Gage with Power Up for Profits, inviting you to subscribe to this channel. Be sure to click the subscribe button and click the bell notification, because every time a new episode comes out, you'll get notified that that new episode came out and you can go watch it right away. Again, I keep the tips really short because most people's attention span, myself included, is very short these days, and I want to make sure you get the information fast, efficiently, and effectively. Have a great day.